Vasyl Lomachenko has a lot of skills. A lot of people are starting to know who he is because of the biggest hype from Bob Arum. Bob Arum states this guy's better than Ali. This guy's better than Floyd Mayweather. Bob Arum pretty much saying this guy has better skills than all the great fighters. He's never seen something like him, but yet he cherry picks this guy fights. Vasyl Lomachenko. He started his pro career very late in his career. He was almost 30 years old when he started. I believe he's 29 years old, will be 30 this year. So he has to move fast. He's a two-time Olympic gold medalist, fought at 132 in the amateurs. In the second pro fight, tried to cherry pick Vasyl, and he lost that fight. And it closed. Mind you, Vasyl Lomachenko, like I said before, he fought at 132 in the amateurs. 132, so naturally he should be a 135-pound fighter. But he started his pro career, he went down in weight, fought at featherweight. Featherweight ranged from, I believe, 114 all the way up to 126. And then junior lightweight is 130, super featherweight. What I'm trying to tell you guys is Vasyl Lomachenko's whole career is based on perfect matchmaking. They got guys at top rank perfectly matchmaking this guy up with big names. Big names. When I say big names, guys that are smaller than him but have big names. The start was Orlando Salido, Gary Russell Jr. So, a naturally 135, 140-pound fighter moves down in weight and goes for the top guys in the little weight classes because he clearly has the advantage, the size advantage, the height advantage, and he cherry picks these guys because of their names. He beats these guys. He beats these guys convincingly, and he gets all the praises in the world. The only guy he couldn't beat was Orlando Salido. Why is that? He couldn't beat Orlando Salido because Orlando Salido weighed a little bit more than him. And Orlando Salido, being the older guy, was the more seasoned guy at the time, and he knew a little bit more tricks. And it paid off because he took Vasyl Lomachenko in the deep water. Vasyl Lomachenko later went and cherry-picked Gary Russell Jr. We all know Gary Russell Jr. was still coming up. Vasyl Lomachenko had an extensive, when I say extensive, deep amateur career with that 2 gold medal. So he's already pretty much pro for being in amateurs for so long. Cherry picks a smaller Gary Russell Jr. He beats Gary Russell Jr. After Gary Russell Jr., he goes and another notable name, he beats Roman Martinez. After that, he beats Nicholas Walters, who had a extensive layoff. And Nicholas Walters is a small guy as well. I mean, these guys are smart. I already mentioned this guy started his career at his amateur career at 132. He's a naturally bigger guy. Then he had the nerve to cherry pick Jason Sosa, another small guy. Jason Sosa, who lost to Nicholas Walters, who Vasyl Lomachenko just beat. Why would you cherry pick a guy who lost to a guy you just beat? Guys, come on. That's perfectly cherry picking at its finest. He's fighting a guy who lost to a guy he just made quit. Are you kidding me? Then, oh my God, I don't know, it got worse. It got worse after Jason Sosa. It got worse after Jason Sosa. He fought Jason Sosa, who is not the best in the division, who he previously beat the guy that beat Jason Sosa. And then he had the nerve to fight a Miguel Mariaga. The guy was just moving up in weight. His first fight, moving up. He fought Miguel Mariaga. Guys, are you serious? Why are you at 130 fighting a guy who is at 126 moving up to 130 for the first time and just lost to a champion, Oscar Valdez? His confidence is shot. He shouldn't get in there with a Vasyl Lomachenko. You guys gave Vasyl Lomachenko a pass for fighting the smaller guy moving up in weight. And then we see the impossible. When cherry picking gets even worse, Vasyl Lomachenko had the nerve to fight Guillermo Rigondeaux. Yes, Guillermo Rigondeaux was asking for the fight. Yes, the fans wanted to see the fight. The fans neglected the fact that Guillermo Rigondeaux was a small guy. They only looked at skills. Yes, skills pays the bills, but Guillermo Rigondeaux was extensively smaller than Vasyl Lomachenko. Too small. People completely neglected the fact that Guillermo Rigondeaux was like a midget in there. This guy's a naturally 116-pound fighter. This guy had to move up few weight classes just to fight top guys. And he moved up 2 weight classes. Vasyl Lomachenko couldn't even meet him halfway just because he wanted that size advantage. The size advantage he uses to win all it.
Yo, we were killing dog, now we killing cow. We were killing dog, now we killing cow. They can be like me, I got my own style. Hey, I'm married, now you're been it. No, I haven't been a girlfriend, now you're been it. No,
Now, after everything I just said, how Vasyl Lomachenko, the naturally bigger guy than everybody he fought, who should be fighting at 135, 140, fighting little guys, beating these little guys up with all the skills, all the experience he has, 2-time gold medalist. He's not fighting at his weight class, fighting at smaller weight class to get the easy W. Bob Arum had the nerve to compare this guy to Muhammad Ali, to compare this guy to Floyd Mayweather. Now, the boxing casual fans and the boxing biased media, they all bought it. They failed to realize that he's fighting guys who are naturally smaller than him. And we all know in boxing, if you have equal skills to a guy who's naturally smaller than you, the bigger guy with the skills always wins. So he always had an advantage. So far, this guy hasn't fought anybody with naturally the same size, naturally the same height, or maybe even bigger than him. He's never fought nobody taller than him yet. He's always been the taller guy. He's always been the bigger guy. And Bob Arum has the nerve to compare him to Floyd Mayweather? Had the nerve to compare him to Muhammad Ali? And the fanboys just picked that up? Now, guys, I'm not saying Vasyl Lomachenko is not a good fighter. I'm saying Vasyl Lomachenko and Top Rank cherry-picked the man's whole career and had the nerve to compare him to the greats. And he hasn't been in any 50-50 fights. That's a fact. Because he's always been the naturally bigger guy. And we all know, like I said before, the guy with skills who is bigger always wins. Being the fact that he's bigger and he has skills, or maybe even more skills than everybody he's fighting, he only fought these guys because of their names. How dare he move down in weight to fight guys because of their names to get an easy W. Clear advantage over smaller guys. And guys, fanboys only look at the names and neglect the size difference. It's ridiculous how people look at boxing. Now, I guarantee you, if he would have fought those guys and they didn't have major names like that, they didn't have clout or popularity, people would have called Vasyl Lomachenko a cherry picker. But because of their names, people forget to mention Vasyl Lomachenko always had the upper hand. He was skilled and he was the naturally bigger guy for the easy W. Now Vasyl Lomachenko is in talks to fight Jorge Linares. who is the weakest champion at 135. People are saying, oh, Jorge Linares is the bigger guy. Come on, guys, do your homework. Vasyl Lomachenko is 5'7". Jorge Linares is 5'8". Jorge Linares is only 1 inch taller than this guy. 1 inch. They're about the same size. They're about the same. If Vasyl Lomachenko fights Jorge Linares and beats Jorge Linares, which I believe he will beat Jorge Linares, because, come on guys, he has way more skills than Jorge Linares and they're about the same size, he's going to beat him because of the skill difference. And they're the same size where Vasyl Lomachenko should be fighting, 135, 140. If he beats Jorge Linares, that's when he's supposed to start getting some credibility. So if he fights Jorge Linares and beats Jorge Linares, which I believe he will, then he should finally get credit. But to compare him to the greats like Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, it's just asinine because he hasn't fought anybody his size. He's always had the advantages. And it's a shame that boxing fans just pick up on the hype because of the name of the opponents he's been fighting. It's time to see Vasyl Lomachenko fight at his natural weight class, which is 135, 140. He could possibly go up to 147. Look at Manny Pacquiao. It's like 5'5" fighting at 147, man. These guys are killing themselves to make these weights. It's ridiculous. I mean, we got to see these guys fight at their natural weight class, especially guys with a lot of skills, because it's unfair to fight these smaller guys. It was embarrassing when he fought Rigondeaux. Now that I have your attention, all the early praises that Vasyl Lomachenko has gotten because of the guys he fought, because of their names, it's ridiculous. For Bob Arum to even compare him to Floyd Mayweather or Muhammad Ali is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's like saying Andre Ward fighting Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's win and Anthony Joshua get praised. No, he's only going to get praised because of Andre Ward's name. The size difference is huge in boxing, especially if a fighter has a lot of experience and skills, like a Vasyl Lomachenko. Vasyl Lomachenko needs to fight guys his size. Imagine if he was finally fighting guys his size. Imagine what Bob Arum would have said. He would have said, this is the greatest athlete on the planet. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Leave the fiction at the door. Like and subscribe for more up-to-date videos on the sport we all love, boxing.